At least he broke up the fight. Oh, the police are done. Oh, this is so sad. What are you doing? Just be normal. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to the Death Note episode 18. And wow, the last episode was so good. First off, Yagami's whole scene with, like, I guess the gun and his son and Misa was absolutely insane. The intensity of it was just amazing, and everything about it was just so good. It felt like the perfect conclusion to that sort of arc of the story, dealing with Misa and what she did for Light and how that nearly exposed him. Then the second half of the episode, it's just, again, it's very difficult to follow when they don't even have their memories, yet the audience clearly knows everything that's happened, but it is so much fun to watch. I feel like that the way it feels now feels like a fresh start. That is what Light has given to this now. Their memories are gone, they're acting like their old selves without the death notes. Misa seems almost cartoonish at this point, with just how her movements are, like they were just running around like weird. Then Light with his line about how he would never manipulate a woman's emotions. He's done that plenty of times, but of course those memories are gone. I just think it's going to be so interesting seeing where the story does go now, because it actually feels like Light could almost become the hero of the story, if that makes sense. Where he did open the book, he started this all, but he could end up being the one that closes it. This basically added a new perspective to the psychopath. It took the psychopath away, and now you have Light and his genius again, actually working to find the person killing people, because there's now a new one, which is a bunch of CEOs, and he could find them and stop them. That would be great. And since it's neither Light nor L with the Death Note, I feel like they're going to have an easier time finding this person. But we also have the introduction of a new headquarters that L has managed to build, which sounds interesting, giving them a base of operations. Very curious to see what that does for the show though, because I think the show has felt so grounded before, and now it feels like this could change that, because it's a giant building that was built in like, what, a couple months for the sole purpose of a like 6-group investigation. Misa has her own floor. It feels kind of out there, but though I am still very interested to see what it is like and what impact it will have on the show. Plus we have no idea what Ryuk is doing. We saw what Rem's doing, how she is basically with the group of CEOs and whatever's going on there and how they're using the Death Note. But Ryuk, we have no clue what he's up to. He's just gone. The last thing we saw was him leave Light in the jail cell. It's been 50 days, he spent 50 days in there, and now time is continuing to pass and still no Ryuk. So I am interested to see if he will show up in this episode and we'll get an idea of what he's doing, or if he just stays absent, which will just add to the intrigue I have of what on earth is going on with him. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over them uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. Okay, low security, and eye scan, cool. So this is their new base. How is this gonna feel? Huh?
Maybe the belt.
Oh yeah, the belt had a weird button in it, doesn't it? Nope, still more.
What now?
Looks like this system is gonna take some getting used to.
You're just enjoying yourself. I do. Can we get more of him? I like him. He's fun.
How's this? Huh?
Oh, it did let you through.
The rooms in this place are amazing. If I were you, I'd just move the whole family in here.
Can you do that?
That's easy for you to say as a bachelor.
Oh, they're on a date. Last we checked, all of them were up in Misa's room.
No, so there's actually a date. Misa must be loving this.
If we know Misa has some connection to the second Kira, I guess it does make sense. God's sake, Matsuda, would you stop with this Misa crap?
Just call her Misa.
This has got to be the lamest date I've ever been on.
No, please, just pretend I'm not even... Are you gonna eat that piece of cake?
Cake makes you fat. I'm not gonna eat any.
Don't gain any weight as long as you burn calories by using your brain.
So now you're calling me
Okay, is that why, like, L does, like, have his sweet treats all the time?
Stop it with your creepy hobby.
You can call me whatever you like. Last chance for cake.
And he's just taking it.
I'll just close the curtains and turn off the light.
We have infrared cameras in here as well.
Oh, poor Misa.
I thought moving here was supposed to help us catch Kira, but since we've been here, you don't seem all that motivated to me.
That's just who L is. And he has the energy for motivation.
Depressed? What for?
Truthfully, all this time I thought that you were Kira, and my
now
entire case hinged on that fact.
And now you're thrown off completely.
Just can't get past the fact that my deduction was wrong.
And he's never been wrong before.
Assume both you and Misa were being controlled by him, and everything we've observed so far makes a lot more sense to me.
No, L. He's right there.
We're both Kira during the time that we were being controlled, right?
Yes, I don't think I could have been wrong about that.
And that's how they're going to explain it. And they're satisfied with that, and it explains the no memories.
Until then, everything pointed to you being Kira. But after 2 weeks, criminals actually began dying again.
There's a fun recap. This definitely feels like the start of a new arc if they're recapping everything like this.
Kira's power passes between people.
That's an interesting idea, but if it's true, it'll be nearly impossible for us to catch Kira.
I hate this. It's so annoying, but it works so well. It makes sense.
They'll likely lose their powers and any memory of their crimes. So in the end, pursuing them becomes futile.
Oh, it's so good.
No way of knowing if that's the case. Cheer up, would you?
Cheer up? No, I'm sorry, I can't.
Not gonna work just telling him to cheer up.
Just so desperately, we're just putting our lives at risk for nothing. It's just a waste of time.
Can light motivate him? Huh? Okay, that works. That's motivation, but it also makes you go flying.
Just because your genius deduction was wrong and I'm not Kira?
Perhaps I phrased it the wrong way. I meant it would be pointless for us to make a move.
I want them to be friends now. It's so annoying the way this show works. I actually want them to be friends, but of course I can't forget what everything that Light is and has done.
I understand, but still, whatever the reason.
Oh, you kicked him in the face!
An eye for an eye, my friend.
Your friend, nice, but that's gonna send you flying too. It's very dramatic. No, and they destroyed the sofa. She okay? She's just watching.
It's as if you won't be satisfied unless I am Kira.
I won't be satisfied unless you're Kira. Well, there may be some truth to that.
Yeah.
I think I wanted you to be Kira.
Why? What, you wanted him? Ow! You're gonna punch him again. What are you gonna do? You use your feet.
Better than I look, you know.
Yep, okay, foot fight. Fun. Huh? They can see you.
Ryuzaki, I've got good news! Misa is #1 in 18 Magazine's reader popularity poll!
You need to stop with that.
She's gonna get a lead role in Nishinaka's next movie!
What was that?
Matsuda's acting stupid again.
At least he broke up the fight. That was good. Well done, Master. 2 months later. Okay, and they've just been here all this entire time. What's happening with the... Oh, there's so much... What's happened with the, CEO group?
All of them were prominent Japanese businessmen, CEOs whose companies are leaders in their respective industry.
And they're all dead?
The exception of Yotsuba. In other words, their deaths have worked in Yotsuba's favor.
Aha. So if criminals stop dying then?
But if what you're saying is true, we can assume that punishing criminals is not this Kira's real intent.
And this Kira, okay, I'm glad that they've established that they're different people now. So it's not like Ella's considering they're the same person. That can work with. That's basically what you have to do with the memories. It's completely different now.
Look at all we've done and no one suspects a thing.
Our stock continues to increase, but we've kept it below the radar.
Not for long.
The problem was that we named a specific location in Japan. You see, he wasn't even here when he died. I hear he and his mistress were in Italy at the time.
Ah, so yeah, illogical, you can't get back there.
It is physically impossible, then Kira will kill that person using his default method.
You want it to look believable, request accidental death or disease.
They're all talking about them in third person, so they haven't figured out who it is yet.
If someone was able to trace the deaths of these people back to us, then he'd have to be a god. Besides, we've taken precautions.
What precautions? What are they doing? And Ella's just watching Misa on the sofa. Interesting.
But Light has a theory that Kira is somehow involved with the Yotsuba group.
Yotsuba?
Yes.
Have they...
That's probably it.
Has Ed and Light told Yagami their new, thing?
And it seems Kira's offered bribes to a number of politicians.
Oh.
As long as the NPA agrees not to pursue him anymore, he won't lay a hand on any politicians.
And of course they're corrupt and going to take it.
The police caved in to him.
Oh, the police are done.
If you wish to continue working this case, you'll have to hand in your letter of resignation to the MPA, just as Mogi and I are going to do.
You handed your resignation in?
Do not pursue Kira as a member of the police force anymore.
Hold on a second.
So completely off the grid now?
If you continue to work with Elle, you'll be fired.
So then, Chief, you're gonna...
In a few hours, I'm no longer going to be your chief.
Oh no, I like calling him Chief Yagami.
All have our own lives, so think it over carefully.
But then where'd you get money from now? What do you do with that? You still need money to live and provide for your family.
If you want my opinion, you'd be better off as police officers.
You were just hands, basically. You were laborers.
And although I'm grateful to all of you for staying with me as long as you have, I know that I can do this by myself.
None of them really added anything apart from Yagami.
Ryuzaki, as long as I'm alive, you won't be working alone. You have my word on that.
I want them to be friends. It's so annoying how this has happened. This show is so good that it's actually made my sort of feeling towards light change.
Besides, with all due respect, there's a big difference between the help of 2 or 3 civilians and the police as an organization.
Yeah, you can't do much now as just people.
Police have made their position clear. They don't want to catch Kira, so let's just leave it at that.
So can Chief Yagami rescind his resignation? Can he get that back?
We're all personally involved in this. All of us have risked our lives to catch Kira.
But Chief, wait. If you quit your job with the police force, you'll be unemployed.
Yeah, explain how the money aspect.
What are you gonna do after that?
But I suppose after we catch Kira, I'll have to dust off my resume.
He's very happy about this, yay.
I'm gonna quit the police and chase Kira too, Chief.
Yay, such enthusiasm.
Besides, if I stayed on as a police officer, I'd feel like a total loser.
Think before you open your mouth, Matsuda.
Yeah, come on. You feel like a total loser. This guy has a family that he's considering providing for. I think that's perfectly reasonable.
If you remain a police officer, then please don't come back here.
But you
Think of
know I
your
won't leak
family.
any information.
I won't be sharing any of our information.
Think of your family.
You're free to pursue Kira on your own if you want to.
I'm happy with this. L knows what's right here. He's not trying to convince him to stay. He's basically pushing him out.
It's as Ryuzaki says. No one here is going to blame you for quitting.
We all understand why you've got to do this.
I don't think that's what he wants to hear.
Our situations are completely different.
Yes. Almost try and push him out because he knows he needs to be with his family.
What kind of friend would I be to Ukita if I quit now? I became a detective so I could catch the bad guys, not run away!
Oh, this is so sad.
You specifically told me that if a task force member were to lose their job under any circumstance, I should make preparations to ensure that their family's financial future was secure.
Okay, this is interesting.
As to why you're withholding this information.
This is not the time or place, Wata.
What did Watawi just do? What did we just do?
So all this time we had nothing to worry about? I can't believe you did that. There you go, Aizawa. Isn't that great news?
Is he okay?
I assume that was some kind of test to determine how committed I was to this task force.
It's not like that, Aizawa.
Probably was.
Aki's just not the type to say things directly. You should know that by now.
It's a test. Everything's a test with Al.
I was testing you. I wanted to see which one you would choose.
Ryuzaki.
And what does that mean now that your test was sort of broken?
Let's face it, I wasn't able to decide right away like you guys. I was leaning towards going back to the police.
So he's not going to go back.
Oh, don't be so stubborn.
No, I quit.
There we go.
Now I know this for sure. I've always hated Ryuzaki. I hate him and his way of doing things.
Wait, no, what did he quit? Which one did he quit this?
Because I like you, Aizawa.
Oh, well, you heard it. What are you doing? Just be normal.
Wait, you've always got to have the last word. You insult me, now you say something like that? That's it. I'm out of here.
Thank you for everything.
Okay, last word. Okay, is that it done? Is he gone? Is Aizawa gone? That's a shame. Why can't Al just be kind of slightly more normal?
Going over this again, I noticed something. All the deaths which are beneficial to Yotsuba are concentrated around the weekends.
Interesting.
More recently, they all take place between Friday night and Saturday afternoon.
Why then?
I'm amazed that you even noticed that, Chief.
He's becoming like L. He's learning.
You to stop calling me Chief.
I'm sorry, but you'll always be the Chief to me.
Yeah, I'm going to keep calling him Chief Yagami.
I can't let myself fall behind you and Ryuzaki. After all, the last thing I want is to be dead weight.
Amazing. Love it.
Dead weight?
You.
Focus on Yotsuba.
This is all of the
think-
Yotsuba Group's employees. Here.
So do you just go CEO? Someone who's benefiting from it.
That's amazing, Mogi.
He's been incredibly efficient from the start.
Ryuzaki, please tell me, is there anything I can do to help with the investigation?
Yep, you don't want to be dead weight now, do you?
So you really want to be useful?
Because you
Yes.
weren't before.
Then could you get me another cup of coffee?
Oh no, he's going to be turned into their assistant.
Yes, over there as well.
What? Who's
Who
that?
are they?
Hold on a sec. Who let them in?
What are you doing?
Those two are the newest members of the task force.
Huh? New members? Who? What?
The name's Iber. I'm a con man. How's it going?
I'm Weddy, and I'm a thief by trade.
Interesting.
Man and a thief.
That's right.
What?
Iber is a lifelong con man.
How does this have... What?
Natural skills allow him to befriend and gain the trust of any target. We'll use him for infiltration.
Interesting. Yay.
Specializes in cracking high-end security systems. As proof of that, she was able to enter the building without setting off a single alarm.
Oh, that's nuts. We saw the security before.
However, these two have never once been caught, so it's unlikely they'll be killed by Kira.
Ah, okay, that's smart.
To investigate Yotsuba, we're gonna need the help of people like this. Let's all do our part and make this happen, okay?
This is fun. New members and they're criminals. Yay. Oh, well, he just brings whatever out of the blue, doesn't he? Aizawa, you're back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Oh, wait. Is that your family? I'll be with your wife and kid.
The last minute decision, but they just gave me some time off.
Is a time off a vacation, Daddy?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. So he's happy with this decision?
Have a break every single week. Now I can go with you to the park. Maybe We can go to the zoo together.
Is the wife realizing what's happening here?
What's wrong, Dad?
This broke him. Oh,
Mommy,
dear.
why is Daddy crying?
His story can't end here, right? I can't... Is that tears of happiness or sadness? Because, I think it's probably a mix of both. Okay, this arc, yes. This is definitely the start of a new arc. Thankfully, there wasn't like a huge cliffhanger in this episode. That's fun, so I can sort of process everything that's been happening. Yay! So again, memories are gone. We're seeing how that's working and how that's processing everything. Elle seems depressed because, of course, and now they're operating under the assumption that Kira basically passes from one person to the other. So when someone gets close, the power leaves them. Technically makes sense and is what happened. Yep, so Elle is right on the money there. But of course, it still lines up. They basically can confidently say that Kira and Misa were Kira. No, that Light and Misa basically were Kira. But there's still no proof and it makes it insanely difficult to deal with. But as long as you're chasing them, it means that it's going to make it more difficult for them to keep killing. Now they've narrowed it down to the next one, which is nice and quickly. So yay, and they've gotten people ready to, they got thieves and criminals. So yay, they can get in and get more info. That's good. But then how can you trust them? What is their loyalty? I assume their loyalty would be money, so hopefully Elle can pay them enough. And the biggest revelation from this episode is just that the task force members have had to quit the police force. So I feel like this is their biggest, I think, what's the name? You have Aizawa, Chief Yagami, and Matsuri, I think that's his name. They have felt like minor characters so far. This kind of feels like they're stepped up into more side characters, because all the main are Light, Misa, and Elle. Now, the task force members actually feel like side characters now. They feel promoted. Aizawa, definitely, he had the best story here, being conflicted between what to do with this whole scenario, quitting his job to pursue justice. And of course, he has to provide for his family. What this proved that he was a very good person and a good family man. He wanted to provide for his family. Of course, Yagami's situation is different because Light's directly involved and he would not be able to sleep at night if he left, because Light's still going to be there. Matsuri is a bachelor, so he has nothing to worry about in that regard. But I just love the realism then. I think it helps because I think the base itself, the HQ, feels rather out there and kind of odd that they have this entire giant HQ for this investigation. Yet they brought it back into a grounded position with Aizawa, displaying what it takes and just what Kira's doing, saying that he's basically bought the police force, so they're done, you can't rely on the police anymore. And Aizawa, by keeping his job and quitting the task force, is now working with the police that have basically said that they're not going to interfere with Kira. That's big, because he basically devoted his life. He was willing to die for this cause. And now he has almost broken that and gone back to something to provide for his family, which is just breaking him so much. It's so sort of good to see that humanity, and it distracts from how, I guess, out there the base feels, which I think is good. Yeah, then we also get more interactions with Ellen, Light, seeing Elle be depressed because he was so sure that Light was Kira, and we just get to see them punch it out. Well, kind of punch, one kicked it out. So that was fun. Misa didn't do too much, but it does look like they're becoming better friends, and it's bittersweet. It's annoying. I don't know what emotion it is. We know who Light is. We know who he really is with his memories. Yet this Light, I would love it if he did become good friends with Elle. But then again, we also know that who he really is and should be punished for it. It's really difficult to get my head around. I think all I know is this story does a great job at sort of connecting you with these characters. Because Light does feel like a completely new person now, who I want good things to happen for. Yet somehow they've been able to write him in a way that makes me almost forget the things he's done. Of course, I, as the audience, have to remember what he's done and hold on to that. Because this new version of him has no memories, and you can't really hold it to him because he doesn't realize what he's done. Punishing him would absolutely accomplish nothing because he doesn't realize he's done those things. So now I can just almost wait and hope that maybe he gets his mummy back, or they stay gone and he can actually help to stop all of this entirely. But of course, we also didn't see Ryuk at all. Did we even see Rem? I think we saw the CEOs and just what they're doing. That they're just still killing people and they're sort of getting a more structure to them, so that backs up Elle's theory that power passes from person to person. But it feels like their whole goal is very, I guess, not that wide. It seems very short term. They just want money and profit, so they're going to be easy to find. They're not a captivating antagonist. It's more captivating just watching Elle and Light work together. These villains don't seem like they're that powerful. They're just after money. Yeah, Ryuk is still gone, and I've got no idea where he is and what he's doing, which is making me both scared and also just curious. Like, he's got another death note. What's happening with that? Like, is he just watching in the shadows, or what is he actually doing? First off, I have to talk about Light, and just, I love the writing of this show. He feels like a completely different character, so you almost forget everything he's done. This whole episode generated a completely different feel towards him. I'm still annoyed, I still know what he's done and I want him to be punished, but now when I see him, I just hear his lines, it doesn't even feel like the old Light was there. We know he is there, I want him to be punished, but it feels like he's a completely different character, and it's all because his memories are gone. Like, I'm actually starting to want him to be friends with Elle, and just for that to work, I want him to succeed in things. And it feels better, it feels like this whole thing has just left him. But of course, as I still have to remember everything he's done and still want him to be punished, it would be so easy just to forget it all and move past it, which I don't want to do. I think it really is just a testament to how good the writing is in this, where you can almost forget it all, like Light has done, and just move on to this new threat. So like here, we don't even see him do anything evil. Yes, he punches Elle, but that's to motivate him. It's to try and whack him out of the funk that he's in, to try and get him to switch back on and start fighting again. It's kind of a friend thing to do, and it's just, like the whole vibe around him has changed completely, because I feel like if we were to punch Elle before, it would be out of malice. Now, it's just out of trying to make him do better. So well done, and it's actually made me excited to see where Light's story goes from here, because I don't want him to get the book back. I would love it if he stays like this. It feels like he's saved like this. It feels like he's the best version he could possibly be right now, and I don't want him to fall back. Then we have Elle, who was in a funk during this 2 weeks, I believe, 2 months? Yeah, it was 2 months. He was kind of depressed. So the theory that he has running now is that Misa and Light were Kira, but the power passes between them and takes memories with them. So at least he's come to that conclusion. It means he still has suspicion that, since the power was with you, it could come back to you. Not going to let my guard down yet, so perfectly fine with that. But it allows him to move forward, and it allows him to use Light's intellect to help them find the CEOs and take them out. You also get to see him testing Aizawa and just his loyalty to the mission, and it just breaks him. But of course, that's how Elle operates. He needs people to be 100% on board and give everything they have to this cause. But that's exactly what he does, because he basically even gives 100% of his body to his brain. His whole thing with the sweets and the cakes is calories to feed his brain so that he can keep working constantly. I'm just glad that Elle seems to be sort of consistent, because this show could easily throw you if you have the main character just change into someone completely different, but Elle is there to be the constant. He is always the same. It's just, we see him kind of develop a little bit where he basically calls Light the first friend that he's had, which is really sweet and sort of bittersweet as well. Like, that's the only little thing we've gotten about him personally. So it's nice just to have him be his constant, normal, same self that just solidifies that we're still in the same show. Nothing feels too out there because Elle just remains the same as always. Then Yagami, I mean, he is just great. I love that we're seeing him develop. So first off, he's quit the police force, no longer Chief Yagami, just Yagami, but I will still call him Chief because he deserves that much. But I just love seeing him develop to almost get on sort of the level that Elle and Light have. He's the one that found the dates people were dying, and the dates that it was always around the weekend, Friday evening to Saturday evening or something like that. He found that. That's something that both Elle and Light hadn't seen yet. I just love that he's getting I just love that he's trying to keep up with them and actually prove his worth here. Because at the start, they were basically useless. They were just laborers for Elle to get through things faster. Now he actually feels like he's adding more intellectually to this group and actually has value here. And I hope that does get rewarded. I don't want him to die. This episode was a nice break from like the constant fear of him dying, because of course nothing stressful really happened. It was good. And I just hope that he continues to develop, continues to get stronger, and that maybe he can better deal with the situations when they come, which will cause him a lot of stress. And Aizawa easily had the best story in this. He was absolutely amazing. Just such a human reaction to everything going on. And I think it was perfectly paired well with the new base, because it feels rather out there. And he just regrounded this show back into, I guess, the reality that it's set in, having to choose between providing for his family and pursuing justice. And of course then the very human reaction of making the decision based on how he was being tested. Elle didn't go about it he went about it the Elle way. He wanted to test Aizawa's passion and drive for this mission that he was on and see what was more important. Because obviously he should go and do the thing that is most important to him. And if that's providing for your family, do it. It's not a bad thing. But his breakdown at the end is just heartbreaking, because you can clearly see that it's both happiness and almost sadness at the same time, which is insane to be able to capture that. Where he's both sad that it's caved his sort of determination to stop Kira, because he was willing to give his life to stop Kira and pursue that justice. He basically accepted that he may die doing this. So to go back to the police, and who have bent the knee essentially to Kira, breaks him. but also he's happy that he can be with his wife and kid again. That's tears of joy. After so long of not being there for them, he can go back and he can actually have that connection with his daughter. His life is saved. It's both relief and heartbreak for him, and it's so sad to see. I hope his story isn't over. I would love for him to I'd either love him to just be happier and be with his family and just sort of put this whole thing behind him, or maybe he goes back to it and finds a better balance between the two. I just hope his story isn't over. I hope that the last thing we see of him isn't him breaking down on the bench. I want to see him happy. Then we have, I guess, Misa and Matsuri, who both didn't do that much in this episode. Misa was just there to witness Elle and Light's fight, and just she's there for comedic effect, basically, at this point. She doesn't have Rem. She is the comedy here. She is what Elle can sort of bounce comedic moments off of with the whole cake thing. And then she's just there to witness Light and Al's fight, so she didn't do too much. Hopefully she gets more to do, because of course she's only there because they know that she's connected to the second Kira. But I'm hoping that she can add more to it in some way. Otherwise she's just going to be seen on screens when Elle and Light are talking, and she won't be able to actually participate in anything that's going on. And Matsuri, he's fun. I'll give him that. He's fun. He's definitely like the young detective who's kind of clueless at things. But I'm glad that he has the drive to do better. Of course, Elle has just made him his personal assistant. But hopefully he can prove himself and prove his worth. That could be fun to watch. Hopefully he can just start doing more, like Misa, since they're basically both connected at this point. He is her manager, and both of them are kind of useless, so hopefully they can do more. Then we have the CEOs, and we really don't know a lot of what's going on. They seem very surface value, that they want profit, and that they made a mistake that they wanted to correct, but they're learning about the Death Note. Of course, that's not good. They're learning its rules, but we don't know what Rem is telling them, or telling one of them. It seemed like they had Rem was talking about them getting what they wanted and what she wanted from it, so we don't really know the inner workings of their relationship, but it's clear that they're not the best at using it. They made a mistake while testing it, which they didn't intend to do. Light purposely made his tests so that if mistakes happen, he would be able to work around them. But I am waiting to see if we'll get anything more on them, because right now they're just motivated by greed, which fair enough is fine, and I guess that's the overall themes where people will go to a base emotion and that's what fuels their use of the Death Note. But I'd love to just understand more about them. Like, is there anything more captivating for them? Because we had Elle versus Light, which was absolutely amazing, but now we have Elle and Light versus these guys who are basically just a corporation. It's like any sort of, it's not, they're just killing people that are against them, and they're doing it for money. It's very just, I don't know, Elle's was more, Light's was more interesting, being he wanted to be a god and carry out justice. But these guys, they're just greed. They want wealth and money. It's kind of really. So hopefully something more can be added to them that makes them just a bit more interesting. As for what's next, we have the introduction of the two criminals that have been brought into the task force, the thief and the con man. So they can get into the, I've already forgotten the name of the company, the company's building or whatever, and they can look around and investigate where Light and Elle couldn't. Perfect. Hopefully they can be trusted, because I'm assuming Elle has a lot of money that you can pay them with, so that would be good. But I'm also curious of how quickly they can sort of get the Death Note back, or they can figure out what's happening. I could easily get lost in just watching both Elle and Light take on this corporation and try and defeat Kira. But of course there's a larger plan at play. You have Rem, who's working under Light's original plan, which I'm assuming will end up with him getting the Death Note back. I don't want that to happen. I want some kind of mistake to happen where he doesn't get it. But I don't know if that's going to be possible, and I think I'm going to end up getting lost in the CEO storyline and just watching and falling in love really with Elle and Light's friendship, because that is just really almost nice to see. Overall though, I really enjoyed this episode. It was such a nice palate cleanser after everything that the last thing was building up to. Dealing with Misa, dealing with the car scene, it was all so well done, and now this one just feels calm. There was no ending cliffhanger. It's just good. It feels just nice and calm. We get some beautiful human emotion, and it just lets me process everything that's happened and this new direction that the show is now going in. Everything's been reset. People have new memories. There was a new threat, and we get to understand where the dynamics fit in places. This was just nice. It was a nice breather, and I'm so happy with that. I needed it. Honestly, I kind of hope that we get another breather in the next episode, or it continues to just build slowly on the whole operation enemy threat thing. I hope that's a slow burn, because when it does kick off, it always kicks off very big, and it gets very hard to follow. I need the break. Yeah, the episode is just nice, and I really just loved Aizawa's part in it. It was so human, and I just really hope that isn't the end of him. I'd love to see more of him and just more of that kind of emotion from people and that sort of reaction. I just love how they're able to tell these sort of stories and capture so much of a human reaction to things, because you're dealing with two main characters that are barely human. Elle and Light are very not normal, probably the wrong word, but they're very out there. They're very different from what you would typically think of a regular person. so it's difficult to sort of convey those typical emotions that people can easily connect with. Aizawa's was brilliant, and you can just feel so much towards that, and I'm hoping that we get more of those kind of scenes. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one for episode 19. See ya!